Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name, after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
All right, so to start our practice, just come into your chair, scoot your butt way back, get comfy cozy, and then once you've got yourself sort of snuggled in, just do those little extra wiggles. Make sure everything feels good, your costume is in place, your hair is in a good form, and then just take a moment to just breathe into your body. Take one or two more breaths just to settle into your seat. And then once you've taken those last little breaths and you feel fairly settled in, bring your awareness right down to your feet. And we're just going to give our toes a little wiggle, a little twinkle. Invite just a little gentle bit of just organic movement. It doesn't have to be anything specific, but just kind of wiggle your toes, smush your bottom of your feet around just enough so that you can kind of feel and sense what's underneath your feet. So for me, it's a little bit of rug and it's a little bit of yoga mat. Notice the textures underneath your feet. Give your toes one last little wiggle and then let your feet get nice and soft and heavy. Let your ankles and your heels get nice and soft and heavy. Let your calves and your shins get nice and soft and heavy, almost as if the whole bottom half of your leg is just trying to get heavy down into the texture underneath it. And then let your awareness come to your knees, tops of your knees. Let the tops of your knees get soft and heavy. Let your knee pit or the backs of your knees get soft. Let the tops of your thighs, sides of your thighs, backs of your thighs, let your thighs get soft and heavy into your chair. And then let that soft heaviness find its way up to your butt, to your hips. And then let your awareness come to your midsection or your abdomen and your waist. So we're going to notice just the belly, abdominal muscles, notice your back, your low back and middle back. And then notice, are you holding any tension there or gripping or supporting? Could you take a moment, even if you have to come back to that grip or support, could you take a moment as you exhale to just let your belly, your low back, and the side of your waist get nice and soft, even if you lose any posture that you might need to hold on to. And then just at the edge of that softness, if you need to give a little extra support, bring it back in. But if it feels okay to be a little bit softer there, take a moment to stay with that softness. And then notice your back connected to the chair and let it get a little softer, a little heavier. And then keeping the whole bottom half of the body. So think from the neck down, we're going to keep that whole bottom half of the body nice and soft and relaxed. And then we're going to start to draw little micro circles with our nose in the air. So tiny, as if you're trying to draw a 1 centimeter circle with the tip of your nose in the air. So start to just draw those gentle circles. And then as you start to do those gentle circles, eyes can be open or eyes can be closed, just whatever feels better to you. But we want it to be a soft, gentle motion, super small. And then take a moment to notice, are you holding any tension in your jaw or are your teeth clenched? Can you soften your jaw but keep breathing in and out through your nose? And then if you're circling your nose in one particular direction, now you're going to reverse, go the other way, but keep it small. So we're still just trying to draw that 1 centimeter circle with the tip of our nose. Notice if changing directions did anything, if there's a change in the sensation in your neck or your throat. Notice if you picked up any tension in your jaw. Can you soften your jaw? Notice if you picked up any tension in the space between your eyes. Can you soften the space between your eyes? Take one more little micro circle around and then let it come to stillness. Pause for a moment, take a breath. And then before we move away from this gentle place of stillness, set an intention here to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. With that intention set, we're going to start to lift away from the back of the chair and then settle back into the chair. So we're just going to pick our back up away from the back of the chair as if you're trying to sit up nice and tall, and then come right back to it. Let your back connect to the back of the chair and soften just for a moment. Lift up away from the back of the chair, invite a little bit of engagement into the body, and then come back into the back of the chair and reduce all efforting that you can. Lift up away from the back of the chair, settle yourself back, reduce efforting. Lift up away from the back of the chair, settle yourself back, reduce efforting. And then this time we're going to lift up away from the back of the chair, stay here. And now we're going to gently lift the head up and down. So as you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. And as you exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down. One more just like that. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down. And now if you were doing that with your eyes closed, now we're going to add a little bit of eye movement and a lift of the toes. So as you inhale, you're going to lift your eyes, lift your gaze, lift your chin, lift your toes. Exhale, lower your eyes, lower your gaze, lower your chin, lower your toes. Lift your eyes, lift your gaze, lift your chin, lift your toes. Lower your eyes, lower your gaze, lower your chin, lower your toes. One more time, just like that. Lift your eyes, lift your gaze, lift your chin, lift your toes, lower your eyes, lower your gaze, lower your chin, lower your toes. Lift your chin to a nice neutral position. And now we're just going to lift the toes, spread your toes, lower your toes, reduce all efforting. Lift your toes and spread your toes. Lower your toes and reduce all efforting. Do that one more time. Lift your toes and spread your toes. Lower your toes, reduce all efforting, and then slide your hands forward, moving right into a seated cat-cow. Inhale, lift your chin, lift your chest. Exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, tuck your chin towards your heart. Inhale, lift your chin, lift your chest. Exhale and tuck it all down. Do that one more time, and then we'll add on. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, round your back. And now we're going to inhale, lift the heart. And then as we exhale, we're going to pick up a knee, pulling it towards the heart space and tucking the nose towards the knee. And then we're going to alternate between the two legs. So inhale, we lift the heart, set the foot down. Exhale, pick up one knee, rounding through the back of the body. Inhale, lift your heart, set your foot down. Exhale, pick up a knee and round. And then we're going to go a few times through. So find a rhythm that makes the most sense to your body, fast or slow, whatever feels good to you. Take one more time through or even yourself out. And then once you've evened both legs out, come back for one cat-cow, just both feet on the ground. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale to round your back. And then we're going to slide the hands forward. So lift your heart. Think nice tall spine, hip hinge. Slide your hands down your shins. Belly and chest are going to connect with the thighs. Fingers are just going to float down to the ground. Soften through the back of your neck. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Walk yourself back up nice and slow. Walk your hands up your shins, up your knees, up your thighs. And then once you've come all the way up, left hand's going to touch to the chair, right hand's going to reach up. We're going to gently tip over just a little bit and then lift right back out away from that side bend. Gently tip over just a little bit. Lift yourself back up. Gently tip over. We're going to stay in that light tip. Hang out there for a moment or two just to notice the side of your body, notice your shoulder, notice down where the side body meets the hip. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Lift up and then we'll switch to the other side. Right hand's going to touch down, left hand reaches up, tip over, and then bring it right back up. Tip over, bring it right back up. Tip over, we're going to stay there. So think light side bend, but then tune in and just take a moment to notice. Notice the side of your body, notice down where the side body meets the hip. One side might feel different from the other. So just take a moment to just notice any subtle variations you might see or feel. And then when you're ready, lift up and we're going to take it right into a seated twist. So right hand's going to find the left knee, left hand to the back of the chair at whatever depth of twist feels good. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Come back through center, take your twist over to the other side, get nice and tall. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Come back through center. Hands are going to just rest wherever feels the most comfortable. We're going to go head cars. So we're going for complete rotation. So we're going to go nice and slow. So think 1 mile an hour, as slow as you can possibly go. Start by tucking your chin down towards your chest. You're going to go for full range of motion, as much motion as you can find, but in the slowest pattern you can go for. So you're going to tuck your chin down and then start to roll your head around, but go super duper slow. You're not going to go to any places where you feel pain. You can go up to the edge where you know the pain might start, but you're going to stay off of any places where you might experience any pain. So you're going to go super slow so that you pay good attention. We're going so slow that we're going to shoot for 3 rotations, but we might not even make it there. So go as slow as you possibly can. And then once you've done about 3 rotations, taking it nice and slow, when you feel ready, reverse and go the other way. Same thing. We're going 1 mile an hour. It's super duper slow. Finding as much range of motion as you can, but staying slow through the whole process. Once you've completed that last one, come back to center, and then we're just going to do some light turns of the head side to side. Look over one shoulder and then look over the other. One more turn of the head side to side. And then as your head comes back to center, now we're going to release our arms out to our sides and we're going to do a little reach and grab, like you're reaching for something across the room, and a little grab of the hand, and then take it over to the other side. So what we want to feel is a little transfer of weight. So we're going, as Audra likes to say at Tai Chi, we're going a little cheek to cheek. So take it from one side of the glutes to the other side of the glutes. Do a little bit of a grabbing motion. So get your fingers reaching and grabbing. Notice how your hands feel, and then notice that you invite a little bit of strength into the side body as you lean out just a little bit. And then once you hit a point where you're going to lean out, let's say lean out to the right, you're going to pick up the opposite leg, and then you're going to just stay here for a moment. So think a soft variation of a 5-pointed star or a single leg 5-pointed star. So we want to feel like we're using our muscles to help stay balanced and in control. Take one more moment here, and then set that foot down, come through center, reset anything you need to, and then we're tipping over to the other side. And then see, can you pick your leg up? My butt's off the seat a little bit, my leg's up off the ground, my midsection is a little bit fired up, so my muscles are engaged. Take one more moment here. And then when you're ready, bring it all back to center and find your seated mountain pose. Feet about hip width distance apart, hands down at your sides. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands through heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands through heart center. We're going to interlace the fingers, flip the palms, press them forward, soften your shoulders down. Pause here for a moment, take a breath. Cool. And then we're going to soften the elbows, make them a little bit wider so that we can bring the arms up and overhead. And then once you've got some good space for your shoulders, press your palms up towards the ceiling or just as far as they go comfortably. And then see if you can just pull the rib cage in towards each other as if you're trying to firm up right at your solar plexus center. Take one more moment to just pull in at the center and then unlace your fingers, float your hands down at your sides, and then roll your shoulders around, down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Now we're going to interlace the awkward way. So switch the cross in your fingers, flip your palms, press them forward, soften the shoulders down. Beautiful. Now soften your elbows to make some space, float the arms up and overhead. And then once you've got good space for your shoulders, press the palms up, pull the rib cage in towards each other, pull in at the solar plexus, take a breath. Beautiful. And then unlace your fingers. And then this time, as we bring the arms down, we're going to give our hands a good shake. So from that upper point, shake your hands and then shake, 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 float your hands all the way down at your sides. And then find your mountain pose again. Press down into your feet, feel your butt connected to the chair, and then reach up just a little bit further up through the crown of your head. Take a breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Lift your heart and dive your heart forward. Inhale to a half forward fold. Hands glide up to the shins, lengthen the spine. Exhale to soften down. Pull the abdominal muscles in, roll up through your spine, roll your shoulders all the way up to your ears, roll them around, down and back, come back through mountain pose. Nice. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, lift your heart and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll your way up. Roll your shoulders up to your ears, roll them around, down and back, come back to mountain pose. One more time, just like that. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll your way up. Take your time, roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down and back. And then we're going to keep our hands active at our side and start to find a light little march. So we're going to pick up one foot and then the other. And we just want to start to just find a little bit of heat generated in the legs. So we want to wake the legs up, wake up the hip flexors. Notice how your legs feel. Notice how your butt feels connected to the chair. Notice how your back feels. Lovely. Now, the next time you step up with that right leg, we're going to grab hold of the bottom of the leg. And now you're going to push your back of your thigh into your hands. Your hands are going to resist and then release. Push it into the back hands and then release. Push your thigh into your hands and then release. Now pull that knee up nice and close to your heart space and then release it nice and slow. And then we're going to pick up the other leg. Grab hold of the back of the thigh, push the back of your thigh into your hands, create a little tension and then release. Push it into your hands and then release. Push it into your hands and then release, and then pull the knee just a little bit closer to your heart space, squeeze it in, and then float it back down to the ground, come back to mountain pose. Nice. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, right hand over to the left shin, left hand reaches up for a twist. Release that hand down. We slide up the shin, bring your knee to your chest, bring your nose to your knee. Hang on, but soften your nose away from your knee. Swing it out to the side. Circle your foot in one direction. Circle your foot the other way. One more circle around, and then bring that leg in nice and slow and controlled. Set it down, find mountain pose. Awesome. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left hand over to the right shin, right hand reaches for a twist. Release that hand down, slide up your shin, bring your knee to your chest, bring your nose to your knee. Release your nose away from your knee, but hang on to that knee, swing it out to the side just a little bit, circle your foot in one direction. Circle your foot the other way. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, bring it back in nice and slow. Set that foot down. We're going to slide the hands forward, lean your body weight forward. So bring your elbows as close to your knees as you can so that we have a little bit of forward body weight. Lift your heels, but we're going kitten heel. So we're going for that little calf raise. So lift up maybe an inch or so off the ground and then lower your heels nice and slow. Lift your heels just barely off the ground and then lower them nice and slow. Lift your heels just barely off the ground. Lower them nice and slow. And now we're going to keep like we're going for a Sphinx position. So we're going to keep those connected to the knees. You're going to imagine that your elbows are towards your rib cage, forward. Keep your fingers nice and strong. A little squeeze between the shoulder blades, a little lift of the gaze. So not full range of motion lift of the gaze, but just enough so your chin tips up just slightly. And we feel a little bit of a squeeze right between the shoulder blades there. And then when you're ready, gently, mindfully release, come back up to a nice tall upright seated position and let your hands come down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. A little hands together, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Exhale, fold yourself down, nice and slow and controlled. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll up nice and slow. And now we're going to start to pivot around so that we can come to a side standing position. So spin yourself around so that you can walk off to one side of your chair. Once you've walked off to one side of your chair, walk it back to a slight down dog, like just as if you're going to find that space for your down dog, and then walk yourself right back up. We're going to go for a warrior 3 here. So a nice standing balance, but we're going to start by keeping both hands planted on the chair. Take a moment to just firm up your center like you're pulling your belly button towards your spine. And now the leg that is furthest away of your chair, that's the leg that's going to start to slide and lift up. How high that leg goes doesn't matter. It's what we want to try to keep a little bit of a square shape of our hips. So rather than that outer hip lifting up, we want to think about both hip points still facing down towards the ground. Push a little bit of energy out into that back leg and then play around with just lifting one hand away from the chair, reaching it out in front of you. See how that feels. The standing leg, we're going to lift the arch of your standing foot. So see if you can just get a little spread of your toes, a little lift in the arch, and then hold here for just a moment. Notice your balance. Notice your breath. When you're ready, slowly and mindfully release that outer leg, slow and controlled down to the ground. Hands are going to walk back, and then you're going to walk back to that down dog shape, but now we're going to stay there for 3 cycles of breath. So you're going to soften your heart down. Push your butt back as far as feels good. Take a nice full expansive breath into your rib cage. Wonderful. When you're ready, soften your knees, lift your heart, walk yourself back to your chair. We're going to spin, come back to that seated position. So set your butt down. Take a moment to just find that seated mountain pose. Notice your body, notice your breath. So you might feel a little bit more invigorated and just slightly more awake at this point, or slightly more warm. So take a moment to notice. Inhale, arms up and look up. Hands meet chest, lifts as you look up. Exhale, lift your heart and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll your way up nice and slow and controlled. Let your shoulders roll all the way up to your ears. And now we're going to pivot it over to the other side. So hands are going to find the side of the chair. Walk yourself around and then walk back just to find that space for your down dog. And then just as you found that space for your down dog, walk it back to your chair so you find that standing tabletop position. Now the leg that's towards the outside, that's the leg that's going to lift up. And then we're going to take a moment to just feel the hip points of our body. So we want to make sure that our hip points feel like they're facing down towards the ground. And then play around with lifting one arm away from the chair. Lift the arch of your standing leg foot. Take one more breath. And then with control, release your foot down, release your arm down. And now we walk it back to that down dog shape. So walk back as far as feels good. Push back through your bum. Let your heart soften down. Take a breath. 2 more cycles of breath, breathing nice and fully into the rib cage if you can. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, soften your knees, look forward. We're walking it back around so that we can sit back on our seat. And then once you've got yourself back into your seat, we're going to go into a side seated position. So take your right leg, step it out to the side, and then scoot yourself around. So we want right butt cheek on, left butt cheek off. And then we're going to drop that left knee down. And how your toes are arranged in that left foot, it's just what feels more comfortable for some of us. Toenails down is going to feel better. You'll feel a stretch in the top of the foot. Toenails curled under, you'll feel a stretch in the bottom of the foot. So position your foot first. And then once you've got your foot positioned, the back arm is going to just rest as comfortably as it can. So it might drape over the back of the chair, or it might just hang on tight. Now we're going to let that outer hip really anchor down towards the ground as we reach the top hand up, but we're going to stay here for like 3 cycles of breath with just letting the hip and the knee drop down and the upper body get some nice long reach. So dip into the back of the chair just as far as feels good. We don't want to round forward. So we want to go only as far as feels like we're keeping that elbow and shoulder back, and then hang out here for a moment. Fill up through the side of your body. So fill expansively into the side of your rib cage. Wonderful. Now we're going to lift up and squeeze. So we're going to lift up through the side of the body as if you're trying to pull the elbow towards the hip and then lengthen it down. So the hip is going to lengthen down and that top hand is going to reach and stretch above your head, and then do it again. So we're inviting that strength in. So we want to use our side body muscles to give a little squeeze in the side as we hike the hip up and pull the shoulder down, and then reach the knee down and reach the arm up. One more time, just like that. Pull it in for a light little squeeze. And then release. One last big stretch here. And then when you're ready, we're just going to find a slightly neutral position so that we can slide that bottom leg up and in, and then pivot yourself around. Take your time as you come around. And then once you've come back around, so we want the left cheek on, right cheek off, right knee is dropped down, and then how you position that foot, what feels better? Do you want the stretch to the bottom of the foot or to the top of the foot? Or maybe you just land wherever your foot will allow you to go. And then once you've got it, we're going to let the knee drop down, the hip is going to sink down, top hand's going to reach up, and we're going to lean into the back of the chair. And then once you're there, all you got to do is breathe. Nice. And then when you're ready, we're bringing it in for that little squeeze. So we're picking the hip up, pulling the elbow in, a little squeeze in at the side of the body, and then dip the hip down, drop the knee down, reach back over through towards the back of the chair. Bring it in, get a little bit of a squeeze. Lengthen down as you reach the arm up. One more time, bring it in, get a little squeeze. Lengthen down, reach the arm up. And then bring it up just enough that you can step that foot in. Take a moment to pivot back through center, and then we're going to do some windshield wipers. So you're going to give yourself as much fine so you can swish those knees, big generous movement from side to side. Wonderful. One more big movement from side to side, and then we're going to step our feet out nice and wide. So think prepping for a wide leg forward fold. So legs as wide as you like, but we want our feet nice and firmly planted on the ground. And now we're going to go left elbow. So think left ribs, left side body, lifting up. Left elbow is going to touch down, right hand's going to reach up. And then just as the elbow touches the knee, we're lifting it up and taking it over to the other side. Elbow's going to touch down, hand's going to lift up. And then just as you reach that edge, pick it up and take it back over to the other side. Elbow to touch. And then pick it back up, elbow to touch, and then pick it back up. One more time through, elbow to touch, pick it back up, elbow to touch, pick it back up. And now both hands are going to find the knees or slightly to the insides of the knees, and you can push out, but only if that feels good. So first we're going to find just that supported hand position, add a little twist, but as you twist and pull the shoulder forward, you can push the knee out, but only if that feels good. Inhale as you come through center, exhale as you twist. Inhale through center, exhale to twist. Inhale to center, exhale to twist. Inhale to center, exhale to twist. Last one here, inhale to center, exhale to twist. As you inhale, come back to center. Now we're going to take it into that wide leg forward fold. So you're going to start by just pitching the heart forward, see how that feels. And then if it feels good to do so, hands are going to find the ground, or however low reasonably it feels to go. Take a moment here to see if you can just let your head soften down, maybe even invite a little softness through the back of your body. Take one more breath. And then we're going to come back up nice and slow and controlled. So maybe your hands are going to find the knees or the tops of the thighs. Firm up your legs, come up nice and slow and controlled. Then we're going to toe heel it in. So we're going to pull the toes in, pull the heels in, pull the toes in, pull the heels in. And then once your feet are back to about hip width distance apart, lean your heart forward, come back the elbows onto the knees. And now we're going to lift the heels, but we're going to go full range of motion. So you're going to lift your heels up as high as you can, maybe hover for a moment, lower as slow as you can. Lift your heels as high as you can, maybe hover for a moment, lower as slow as you can. Lift your heels up and hover for a moment, lower as slow as you can. And then we're going to slide the elbows off the front of the knees, come back to that folded position with the belly and chest connected to the thighs. We're going to get a little bit of compression of the belly against the thighs. So we do want that sort of closed in space just a little bit. The idea is to bring awareness to the back of the body. So we put a little compression on the front of the body, however comfortable that feels to you. And then notice the back of your body and imagine you're breathing into the back of your rib cage and expanding the breath into your shoulder blades. Take one more breath. Before you come up, we're going to take hold of our leg muscles and we're going to grab. So we're going to start at the ankles. You're going to grab right around the ankles and you're just going to start to do a little twist and turn. And then you're going to start to twist and turn, walking your hands up your calves and up your shins. Now the muscles might feel a little bit firm because there's a little bit of that downward pressure. So really what we're trying to do is stimulate the outer edges, not so much the muscles, but the skin and connective tissue right at the surface. So we're grabbing and twisting just a little bit and then start to grab and twist, move your way up. Find the knees and then just do a little bit of smoosh around the knees and then maybe a little smush around the knee pits. And then once you've sort of smushed around your knees just enough, now grab the tops of your thighs, a little twist and turn. And then grab the sides of your thighs, a little twist and turn. And then see if you can get hold of just some of the back of the thighs, do a little twist and turn. And then we're going to sort of pat, pat, pat the side of the body. So think pat, pat, pat up and down the side of the waist. One more pat, pat, pat up and down the side of the waist. And then we're going to take our light little fist hands and we're just going to draw some gentle circles around the abdomen. Reverse directions, go the other way. All right, now we're going to take those hands and we're going to pat, pat, pat the back of the body. So open palm or little fist, that's just going to be whatever feels more available to your hands and to your arms. One more little pat, pat, pat around the back of the body, and then we're going to gently tap the front of the heart space. So light piano fingers, just gently tapping up and down towards the collarbones, down towards the sternum. And then as you start to do this light and gentle tapping here, you're going to start to walk your butt back in your seat. Take your time as you start to walk yourself back. And then once you've come all the way back, maybe one or two more little taps up and down, and then hands are going to rest wherever is most comfortable. And we're going to come back to drawing those little micro circles in the air with our nose. So small, tiny, gentle, mindful circles. And then if it feels comfortable to do so, you'll start to close your eyes down or just soften your gaze. Notice your jaw. Notice if you're still holding any tension in the sides of your neck. Can you let the side of your neck be soft and loose? Notice if your eyebrows feel a little scrunched. Can you soften and relax your eyebrows? Take one more micro circle around in this direction, and then when you're ready, reverse, go the other way. Take one more micro circle around, and then when you're ready, let it all come to stillness, and now let your body completely reduce efforting. Let your legs get soft and heavy. Let your back get soft and heavy into the back of the chair. Let your shoulders get soft and heavy. Let your arms get as soft and heavy as they can. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana just as long as you like. But if you feel ready to do so, start by just gently wakening up the fingers and the toes. So give your toes and your fingers just a nice little wiggle. Take a little bit of extra time just to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. And then see if you can lightly start to move into the wrists and the ankles as well. But keep it there best you can. So just a little bit of movement in the feet and a little bit of movement in the hands. Take one more moment. And then once you feel your breath start to come in at a slightly deeper rhythm, lift your back away from your seat. Keep your eyes closed if you can. Walk your butt forward so that you're just feeling a little bit more grounded. So butt connected to the chair, feet nice and solid on the ground. And then pause for a moment just to find that nice upright position. Feel the freedom of your back lifted away from the chair. Feel the solidness of the floor beneath you, the solidness of the chair beneath you. Nice. And then we're going to take our piano fingers, but now we're going to tap with a little bit more vigor at the heart space. So think like you're trying to trying to thump past that sternum, underneath the sternum. So we want to feel like we're just really trying to get that tapping sound down below the bone. Take one more good sound tap at the heart space, and then prayer hands together in Anjali Mudra and bow your head to your heart. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. And when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Wednesday.